Everyone's learning N8N, building automation workflows. If a 9 years old who barely uses email can create completely business system, what does this say about the value of your technical expertise?
I just told the AI what I wanted, and it built everything for me. Took me an afternoon.
I need to tell you something that's going to piss off a lot of people in this space. The skills that got us here, the N8N knowledge, the workflow buildings, it's all about to become completely worthless. I'm Chris. I made 50,000 per month teaching AI automation in Korea, 40,000 YouTube subscribers and 1,400 community members. I had everything, but I was lying to myself, teaching people to leverage AI while I wasn't building anything real. So at 26, I killed it all. Now I'm in Vancouver, building Execution Squad. Not another courses, a system that forces people to execute instead of learn. In the next 27 minutes, I will show you why your N8N expertise will be worthless in 12 months, what businesses actually pay for, the execution formula that validates business in hours, not months, how to build a system that scales beyond your time. Stop N8N, start executing. The barrier to entire for AI automation is dropping faster than most people realized. 2 years ago, when I started building automations in Korea, it requires genuine technical knowledge. You had to understand API configuration, webhook setups, error handling, data transformations, real skills that took time to master. I remember spending entire weekends trying to figure out why a simple make.com integration wasn't working, and hours of debugging, testing configuration, reading documentation that might as well have been written in ancient Greek. But today, the platforms are getting more intuitive. AI assistants are better at writing the technical parts. Drag and drop builders are becoming more powerful. You can literally describe what you want to ChatGPT right now, and it will give you step-by-step instructions for building the entire thing. What used to be specialized knowledge is coming on Tuesday afternoon project, and it's not just the tools. The educational content is exploded. YouTube channel, online courses, and free tutorials. Everyone and their grandmother is teaching automation right now. Information that used to be scarce and valuable is now commoditated and freely available. Here's the real warning sign. A Vancouver local brunch restaurant, traditional business, non-technical company, they are looking to hire internal AI automation specialist. Here's the real example. Daniel now works as creative director of our execution squad. He was working as a full-time developer at that restaurant. He was a server there, learned AI skills, jumped his entire career in only 2 months, built their internal team management software, life changed it. You can see our interview video at my channel. And I have no problem believing stories like this because we use cold code ourselves. I'm hearing this everywhere, not just from my network. A dental practice asked if they could learn to implement automation themselves. A local coffee shop owner's nephew built them a scheduling system in a weekend using AI tools he learned on YouTube. Businesses that used to rely entirely on agencies are now asking, do we really need to outsource this? And the answer is getting more uncomfortable every single month. I saw this firsthand. A business owner showed me an automation they built themselves using some new AI-powered platform I'd never heard of. Same functionality as something agencies would change thousands for. Built it in an afternoon using natural language prompts. The platform let them describe what they wanted in plain English, and it built the entire workflow. No technical knowledge required, no API documentation to read, and no webhook configurations to debug the problem everyone is ignoring. Most people teaching automation are still focused entirely on the technical side. They are telling you to master N8N, become an expert in workflows, learn all the API integration. Every day, I see new courses promising to make you an automation expert by teaching you which buttons to click. But here's the thing, and I say this as someone who taught this stuff for 2 years. Understanding the tool is important. It's not what you should be learning first, and it's definitely not where the value lives anymore. You should be learning to solve business problem through execution, just build technical workflows. It's like somebody in 1995 telling you to become real good at using Microsoft Word. Yeah, document creation is valuable, but knowing which specific buttons to click in which specific software, that becomes irrelevant real fast when better tools come along. This is what really concerns me. Most people teaching this stuff are still selling the technical dream. Master these 7 N8N nodes and make $10,000 per month. Become an automation expert in 30 days and learn make.com and quit your job. But with AI getting better every single day, that technical knowledge has a shelf life and is expiring faster than anyone wants to admit. Here's what they are not telling you. Creative director Daniel, before he joined the execution squad, he paid $12,000 for high-ticket AI automation courses from Sergey Gattari. What did he get? He worked 12 hours a day for 3 months. AI chat agents ask hundreds of questions in Discord, never sold anything, not one customer. The dedicated coach they promised, they had 12 other students. Daniel got maybe 1 to 2 replies per day. It felt like a factory, not coaching. And the win channel in Discord empty for months. When he asked why, they said, our successful students only share with coaches privately because they don't want competitors to see. Does that sound like a bullshit? Because it was bullshit. This is the pattern across the entire education. They are teaching you to become tool builders, not business owners, not problem solvers. Tool builders. Why? Because if they taught you the real fundamentals, execute fast, get results, learn what works, you'd be done in one video. But teaching you N8N, that's 100 plus videos, multiple courses, community membership, ongoing updates when tools change. You stay a student forever. They make money forever. This is not a first advent. Look at the history of technology. The pattern repeats itself over and over again. In the 1980s, operating a computer was a specialized skill that commanded premium wages. You literally need to use basic software. Companies hired computer operators whose entire job was knowing how to make machines work. In the 90s, building websites required knowing HTML, CSS, maybe some JavaScript. Web developers were wizards creating code by hand. By the 2000s, computer literacy was expected of practical everybody. The specialized computer operation skill become worthless because the tools got easier to use. And today, everyone built a better looking website than most 99s using Webflow, Squarespace, Wix. The technical barrier disappeared. The same things happen with graphic design, Canva, demo design, video editing, music production, and photography. Every single time, the technical skills that used to command premium prices become accessible to everyone. And now it's happening to automation. N8N just released natural language automation. You describe what you want, it builds no technical knowledge required. Make.com is adding AI assistants that write workflows for you. Zapier has templates for everything. The technical barriers is disappearing. And if your entire value proposition is, I know how to use these tools, you're about to become obsolete. Here's what we long to understand. Clients don't buy automations, they buy solutions to their business problem. They don't care about your technical expertise in N8N. They don't care about your make.com certification. They only care about the outcome. They cannot figure out how to achieve themselves. And here's the important things nobody tells you. They are getting better at the technical stuff every single day. But they still struggle with something entirely different, understanding what actually needs to be done in the first place. Most business owners look at their operations and see cows. They know things could be better, but they can't exactly pinpoint what's broken or how to fix it. They just know they are spending too much time on stuff that feels like it should be easier. That's where the real value is, not in the building, in the execution to discover. Let me give you a real example for yesterday. I got a client application. This is an actual form submissions. Debating if I should start an agency or sell voice AI for businesses. Really deciding on which business model to do. Take action and make a decision on which business model to execute. Here's what most AI educators would say. Great, let me teach you how to build both. Here's my course on agency building, $2,000. And here's my courses on voice AI, $1,500. Buy both and figure it out. Here's what I said, the execution approach. Stop debating, pick one, apply the execution formula. Execution equals hypothesis leads to massive action, leads to data, then multiply by iterate. Let me show you exactly how. Hypothesis. Not businesses will pay for voice AI to value. Create a testable hypothesis. Vancouver restaurants will pay $99 per month for a voice AI that answers phone call and takes reservations automatically. Specific target, specific price, specific outcome, and massive action. And that leads to massive action. This is where you sell with your minimum viable offer. MVO. The smallest thing you can sell to prove demand. Build your own MVO, simple landing page describing what you will do. Stripe payment link for $99 per month. No AI built yet, just the promise. Then sell 50 restaurants to them. Hi, I'm building a voice AI that answers your phone 24/7 and takes reservations for that. Would you pay $99 per month for that? Don't build anything, just sell the promise. After 50 course, you will have a real data. How many says yes? How many ask the questions? How many says no and why? And what features do they actually want? Then multiply by iterate. If 5+ of restaurants say yes, you have demands. Now deliver manually first using existing voice AI tools. Prove you can deliver value and automate it. If 0 restaurants say yes after 50 calls, kill it. The hypothesis was wrong. Try the agency model instead. Same execution process. You will have real market data in days, not a month of building something nobody wants. This is what clients actually pay for, not your N8N skill, not your technical knowledge. Your ability to help them execute their way to discovering what's actually worth building. Predictable scenario. If he follows this, he will call 50 restaurants. Maybe 3 to 5 will say yes, that sounds interesting. And he will manually handle their calls for a week using a basic voice AI tool, high level or appointment wise, and he will learn what questions customers actually ask, what features restaurants actually need versus what he thought they'd need. The gap is important. What price they will actually pay versus what he hoped they'd pay. Maybe $99, maybe $49, maybe $149. If you include menu updates, you can deliver profitable. What parts take too much time? What parts need human touch? Then he either scale it, automate the proven process, or killed it, but pivot to something else with the same execution formula. But most importantly, he will have a real customer feedback and real money in days, not months, of building in isolation. Do not go to networking party. That's the bullshit time-wasting approach. That's the difference between execution and learning. This is the formula. This is what business pay for. Here's what's going to separate successful businesses from that ones in 2026. Here's what's going to separate successful businesses from that ones in 2026. Not technical knowledge, but problem diagnosis through execution. It's not about becoming an AI automation agency for clients. It's about applying execution to build your own businesses. The shift selling automation services to building execution-based businesses. Here's the business building framework. MVO, minimum viable offer. MVS, minimum viable service. MVP, minimum viable product. This is how you go from 0 to a real business that scales. Let me show you what I mean with a case study that illustrates this perfectly. There's a well-documented case of a consulting firm that was losing clients due to poor communication. Leadership thought they needed automation. Let's build a system that auto-sends project updates. But when they dug deeper, and this is the key, the problem wasn't frequent, it was quality. Their updates were generic. Project is on track. We are making progress, but clients actually wanted to know, is my project really on track, or are you hiding issues? Are there any problems I need to know about? What do you need from me to keep this moving? The solution, they didn't automate bad communication. They redesigned their entire communication framework first, identified what clients actually wanted to hear, create templates that delivered clear information, added simple triggers to ensure nothing fell through cracks. The automation piece, maybe 20% of the solution. Basic reminders, simple workflow. But the business impact, clients retention went 60% to 80%. That's about $30,000 in annual recurring revenue they would have lost. Real money. The value wasn't in the technical implementation. It was in understanding what good communication looks like, then using simple tools to deliver it consistently. This is the shift you need to make in 2026. From I can build you an N8N automation to I apply the execution formula to build a validated business. Let me show you the value is actually moving. Level 1, tool operations. Knowing how to use N8N and make.com and Zephyr. Status being commoditized rapidly. Value approaching $0. Why? N8N just released the natural language automation. Anyone can do this now. Level 2, technical integration. Understanding APIs, webhooks, data transformation, and status still valuable today. Value to 18 months. AI handles this automatically. Why? Cloud Code, Cursor, and other AI tools are getting better every week. Level 3, solution design. Knowing what to automate and how to structure workflows. Status, where most experts compete. Value, ceiling is low and dropping. Why? AI will soon design better workflows than human. Level 4, execution through validation. Understanding business problems through manual execution first. Status, where the money is moving. Value, high. Requires real-world experience, not tutorials. Why? Can't be automated. Requires human judgment and real customer interaction. And level 5, strategic business building. Building MVP product that scales. Status the future. Value unlimited. You are not selling time. You are building systems. Why? This creates assets, not just income. Most agencies compete at level 1 to 3. Fighting over technical implementation work that's getting cheaper every month. Here's the uncomfortable part. This is what nobody wants to hear. Most of you watching this are competing at levels 1 to 3. Right now, you are fighting for scraps and you don't even realize the money already moved to level 4 to 5. Smart money is moving to level 4 to 5, where the barrier to entry is execution experience and strategic thinking, technical skills. And here's what nobody wants to admit. If your entire value proposition is, I know how to use N8N, you are competing with AI systems that will be soon do it better, faster, and cheaper than you. If your value proposition is, I use execution formula to build a validated business, you are competing in a space AI cannot replace. Let me show you exactly how this works with Execution Squad. I had 9 Twitter followers right now, my personal friends, but I am not worried because I know the execution formula works. Here's 4 weeks structure that forces execution. I want to build an AI automation agency. That's not hypothesis. That's a vague dream. A clear hypothesis is AI service providers stuck in tutorial hell will pay $797 for a 4 weeks challenge. That forces them to make their first dollar. See the difference? Specific target and specific price, specific outcome and timeline. What participants do? Pick one proven market, not a business too broad, not a consulting firm too broad. Create testable hypothesis. Target will pay X dollars for outcome. And 30 plus outlets per day to validate demand and live group call, validate hypothesis together. We are not teaching N8N. We are teaching how to create hypothesis that can be validated in days, not months. And week 2, massive action. Manual first. This is where most people fail. They want to build automation first before getting first customer. The right approach is 30 plus outreach per day until someone say pays you. Then deliver manually. What participants do? 30 plus daily outreach, email, DM calls, copy winning content structures from top performers. Send 20 follow requests per day on social platforms and 50 likes plus 10 reposts to build presence. Sell the promise, not the automation. When someone pays, deliver manually using whatever tools work. Submit daily screenshots to track execution. And in live call, share result and troubleshoot together. Your goal, get paying customers before building anything. Why? Because if you can't sell it manually, automation wasn't fix that. You need to prove demand first. Here's the truth about finding your first customer. It's the same thing as finding product market fit. I called it finding execution market fit. Very simple, iterate as much as possible. Try as offers as possible. Do not track bullshit only. When someone starts working, you will know it won't be an extra 2 replies. It will be 20 paying customer. You can worry about metrics after your first 100 customers. Right now, scale up a winning offer as fast as possible with as any customer as possible. You are in the race against the shifting markets and competitors. Extract as much revenue as possible before the world moves on. You have less time than you think. Trends die in weeks. Speed and quantity are the 2 most important things. Some niches are more fertile, but generally anything has the potential to make money. Execution is as big an opportunity as AI itself. In the next few years, every founder who's not executing will get destroyed by the ones who are. Don't ask for advice, just execute. The market will show you what it flavors. And week 3, data. Document reality. Now you have customers. Now you have delivery experience. Now you start tracking. What participants do? Make your own data tracking system. Document delivery process step by step. Create one service tier. Not 3, just your best offer. And identify what takes time, what's repeatable, what needs human touch. And map your workflow in the Kanban board. So in our group live course, share promise map, get feedback. This is when you discover what's actually worth automating. Not before you have customers, not before you deliver it manually, 10 plus times after. Based on 3 weeks of real execution data, make the decision. Scale. If you have a 3+ paying customers, profitable delivery, big enough market, automate the proven process and grow. Kill. If no customers after 200+ outreach attempts, market too small, delivery not profitable, document learnings and try something else. Both decisions are a success. You have real data. What participants do? Analyze all data. Customer revenue, time, profit, market size. Present to group. Here's what happened. Here's my decision. If scaling, identify which workflow steps to automate first. If killing, share what you learn, move on. Our live core, everyone present their decision. This is execution, not learning, not planning, doing. And the data and you gather in 4 weeks is worth more than 4 months of coursing. Look, quick things. I'm documenting all of this on YouTube, like everything. Not the polished version, the real version. My number, my process, my approach. What's working, what's failed. The 50 rejection, the hypothesis that completely flopped. The pivot, the data. You know why? Because I spent 2 years in Korea selling the dream, teaching AI automation while showing only the honey moments. I was part of the problem, but not anymore. Now you get everything. The failures, the massive middle, the awkward cold course, the whole thing. Most people show you their Stripe dashboard's best day. I'm showing you Wednesday at 3 p.m. when nothing's working and you are questioning everything. That's what execution actually looks like. Check the description if you want to see the raw footage. Week by week, no bullshit. Here's what's really changing. AI tools are getting so good at technical implementation that soon describing what you want accurately will be more valuable than knowing how to build it. Rapidly approaching a world where you can have conversation with an AI about your business needs, and it will design and build the entire technical solution for you. But here's the catch most business owners struggle with. They are terrible at describing what they actually need. They will say, automate our customer service. What they mean, we spend too much time answering the same basic questions. We want our team to focus on complex issues that require human judgment. They will say, we need better lead tracking. What they mean, leads are failing through the cracks somewhere in our sales process, and we don't have a clear visibility into our pipeline. They will say, automate our invoicing. What they mean, we are losing money because invoices go out late and follow up on overdue payments in inconsistent. This translation skill from vague business pain to specific actionable requirements is becoming incredibly valuable. And it can't be automated because it requires understanding human psychology, business operations, and asking the right questions. When someone says, I want to automate our sales process, I don't start building. I start asking, how do leads currently enter your system? What happens to them after initial contact? How do you know when to follow up? What causes leads go cold? How do you productize which leads to focus on? And what information do you need to close a deal? The answer reveals the real problems, which are often completely different from what they initially described. And this is why execution matters more than technical skills. You can't automate your way to understand. You have to execute your way. Let me show you the execution formula with 2 real examples. Tradition versus execution approach. Traditional approach, what AI courses take. Learn tools, build portfolio, find clients, deliver service. Timeline 3 to 6 months before first dollar. Success rate maybe 2 to 5%. Actually get paying client. Why it fails? You are building before validating demand. But execution approach, what actually works. Hypothesis and then sell and then deliver manually and then gather data and iterate it. Timeline, hours to first validation, days to first dollar. Success rate 30 to 40%. Get paying customers. Why it works? You only build what's already have been proven. Real example. Example 1, our chicken shop. Hypothesis: Vancouver restaurants will pay $29 for better DoorDash portals that gets them more orders. Why $29? Low enough for instant yes, high enough to be profitable. Massive action: build a simple landing page, added before and after example using AI tools. Stripe payment button, sent 100 outreach message, made 3 door-to-door visited. Yeah, and the first day, 1 paying customers $29, 1 potential leads, total cost 0, and profitable from our 3. We decision kill this. Why? Market is too small. Only so many chicken restaurants in Vancouver would need volume at 29 price point. Better opportunities exist. But this was success. I learned the execution process works. I validate demand. I got real customer data all in 3 hours. Example 2, execution squad is hypothesis MBO phase. AI service providers stuck in learning mode will pay $297 for a 7-day one-on-one challenge that forces them to make their first dollar. Massive action: create simple Notion page with 7-day structure and for made Google form, added Stripe payment link, $300 refundable. Posted in communities where target market hangs out, had 100 conversations. The data week 1, 15 plus people wanted to join. Too much demand for one-on-one model. Validated. People want to force execution over courses and then iterate. Decision scale, but can't scale one-on-one model. Need to evolve. New hypothesis MBS phase. Same target market will pay $1 for $797 for a 4 weeks group challenge with cashback, incentive, and proven execution framework. This is where we are now. Testing MBS, minimum viable service, to gather data for our MVP. After 100 plus people, the challenge will have execution patterns to build the challenge app. Software that forces execution at scale. Why this formula works? Hypothesis: without massive action, just another worthless idea. And massive action without hypothesis, busy work with no direction. And data without iteration, analyze paralysis, never shipping. But multiply fast iteration, exponential learning, and growth. The key insight: the faster you iterate through this cycle, the faster you separate what works from what doesn't. Most people spend 3 months learning N8N before their first validation attempt. We force 4 completely in 4 weeks. That's 16x more learning in the same time frame. And I have a vision. Here's where I'm going with this. I want to change the world. My vision is replace courses with challenges and replace advice with forces execution and replace learning with doing. The mission is simple. Prove ideas are worthless. Execution is everything. The legacy: be remembered as the guy who killed the education scam by building something better. This is the path from I know N8N to I'm building the execution-based business that changes how people build businesses. The point: I'm not teaching you to become an AI automation agency for clients. There's a lot of people teach you that method. I'm showing you how to apply the execution formula to build your own business. That's the shift. The businesses that thrive in 2026 and beyond won't be the most technical, sophisticated. They will be the ones that apply execution formula to build their own businesses. Here's what that actually looks like. Execute to understand. Don't plan to perfection. Test hypothesis rapidly through real market actions. Diagnose problems by forcing execution. Not just asking what's broken, but let's try selling this and see what happens. Ask execution's question, not technical specifications. What would success look like? Let's validate this 50 course this week. What happens if we sell this before building it? And price based on business outcomes, not time investment. Validate business model worth $10,000 plus. Saved 40 hours worth $500. Please don't just automate it. Build business. Execute to discover demand. Deliver manually to understand process. Use AI to scale proven workflows. Build systems that work without you. And develop deep expertise through execution. Not broad technical knowledge, deep understanding through doing. Proven stack records to validate hypothesis. Lastly, speak the language of execution. Not I can build you a multiple step automation, but I can help you validate if this business model works in 3 hours. What this means for you, stop obsessing over automation tools. You probably already know enough, Learning more tools doesn't differentiate you. When tools are getting easier every week, start applying the execution formula to your own business. Pick a market, create hypothesis, execute, get data, iterate, develop your execution skills. Not how do I build this in N8N, but how do I validate this hypothesis today? When you see a business problem, ask, what's the simplest hypothesis I can test? How do I sell this before building it? And learn communicate in execution terms. Instead of I can build multiple step N8N automation with advanced filtering. Say this, I can help you validate if Vancouver restaurants will pay $99 a month for voice AI reservations in 3 hours, not 3 months. Focus on validation, not the technical build. The timeline. Next 6 months is technical automation skills becoming commoditized. Start now. Next 12 months is basic automation, accessible to most business owners. The technical barrier disappears. Next 80 months is only business making serious money are ones who apply the execution formula to their own businesses or went super niche. Next 24 months is automation agencies becomes execution-based business. Technical components becomes invisible infrastructure. And my timeline right now, phase 2, learning execution squad manually and gathering execution data. After 100 plus people, building challenge app using proven execution patterns. 12 to 18 months is full platform that forces execution at scale. And 2 to 3 years, replace courses with challenges globally. I'm not trying to scare anyone out of this business. I'm trying to help you evolve before you have to. The opportunity is still massive, but the value is shifting. From technical implementation to execution-based validation. Automation building to business model testing through forces action. The people who see this shift coming and adapt early, they are going to dominate. They will building real business using execution formula, not just selling automation services. You have a choice. Option A, keep learning N8N, mastermake.com. Compete with 100,000 other people. Raise the bottom on the pricing. Option B, apply the execution formula. Force execution. Validate through doing. Build businesses that scales beyond your time. Which one gets you closer to your actual goal? Stop learning N8N, start executing. While everyone else is building automations nobody wants, execute your way to validated business. While they are perfecting workflows, you will have paying customers. While they're learning tools, you will learning what actually works. Stop reinventing the wheel, start using to build something that matters. Execution is everything.